I believe personally you need to go through some stuff in life. You need to go through some type of trauma, some type of heartbreak. You need to have grit. You need to go through experiences that obviously will change you, but ultimately you need to be purified of the things that are holding you back because you have been complacent in life when it comes to a relationship or a job that you know you could do more in. No. I believe every man should go through some type of. You know what? Drop the men thing. I think everybody should go through some type of trial, tribulation, or just trauma. As funny as that is, let's really dive into this more. That people will grow when they have to go through something traumatic or hard in life. They need to earn this grit, if you will, to push forward even when the times are tough, even when they're like heartbroken from a breakup, or maybe they got fired from a job, or maybe their health was on the decline, maybe something happened in their life and you got kind of slapped in the face and you realized that now was the time for you to step up and do what you've been saying you were going to do for a long period of time, but you've been putting off, you've been procrastinating. But now, when you're in that muck and you're crawling through it, and you realize that now it's the time to actually address the problems that I've been avoiding and address even the things that you're trying to run away from, too, because that heartbreak, that financial situation, the health condition, all the things that you've kind of pushed down deep down inside you now are coming up, and you need to obviously face them because if you run away from your fear all the time, it will always come after you. But if you're willing to turn around and face it, then you're going to go through it much faster than you running away from your problems. There's a reason why buffaloes will run into the storm because it's going to surpass. They know that if they enter the storm, that's the hardest part of the storm when it's coming their way. Well, once they go through it, there's sunshine on the other side. There's peace. Everyone runs away from the storm. And I'm not saying to go out in a lightning storm and face your fears, but in the aspect, oh my gosh, of life, you want to be able to focus on what you actually could solve because there's not so much that we can't control on this earth, but you can control the time you wake up, the stuff you put into your body, the clothes you wear, how you look. These things are obviously temporary, but at the same time, we are blessed with the gift of life by God. Why aren't we willing to steward it? And even the stuff that we go through, God turns it around because the enemy, Satan himself, sends it to hurt us or ruin us. But God will flip it and turn it into something good. If we go through a heartbreak, then we start to heal and we obviously know that that person wasn't right for us, but then we lift the standards up higher and higher. We start to tolerate less and we start to have more self-respect for ourselves and we start to cater what do we want out of life, what do we want out of a potential partner, and then this increases in many different facets of our life. Maybe we get really spiritual, we get back into a relationship with God, we prioritize our faith, and we also prioritize our health, like I said earlier, going to the gym, stewarding this blessing, this vessel that the Holy Spirit lives in, and grinding every day, having that grit to say that I am tired after my job and I'm still going to go to the gym afterwards because I know that leaving the gym I'm going to feel better because in the moment when you're going to decide whether you're going to go to the gym or sit on the couch, you're better off going to the gym because you're going to get a better reward. No one feels great after watching a whole bunch of Netflix movies and say, wow, that was totally worth it. I know I've been there. And it is not fun. You feel like you just wasted your life. You wasted the time that you could have been doing more productive things with. And that's where the grit comes into it. And I'm not saying you can't have good times and having times where you get to relax, because everybody needs to relax and recover, but you do need to put in a little bit more effort than you're doing right now. You do need to have that grit to say that I'm going to get it done no matter what, because life will throw curveballs at you and you need to surpass it. Keep swinging and keep trying, because there's no one else that is willing to do the work that you need to do to get to where you want to go. No one's going to hold your hand. No one's going to say, it's okay, Johnny. Don't worry. Tomorrow's another day. Tomorrow might not come. You might not get another day. There might even not even be a Johnny. So do the hard stuff now, because doing that is going to actually steward a better future for you than enjoying in all the pleasures that life has to offer right now, because the food will always be there, the alcohol will always be there, the drugs will always be there, the women will always be there, or men if you're a female watching this. But let's be honest, you've lived a life full of debauchery. You've tried to go out and seek the world and do things that were going to try and gratify your flesh and fill a void, but nothing has solved that problem. Nothing has gotten you closer to feeling at peace. Maybe you've been skipping out on the true things that you've been needing to address. And that's your mental health, that's your spiritual health, that's your physical health. Maybe you have an extra 30 plus pounds of body fat on your body. Maybe you're feeling super tired all the time and you're eating horrible food from fast food restaurants, not to name any names, but you already know what I'm talking about. And you look at yourself in the mirror and you're disappointed. You're disappointed in what potential you have, but you're shooting yourself in the foot every day by making the wrong decision, by getting easily manipulated, or kind of I don't even know, what would you even call it? You're baited into going out with your friends when you know that you want to actually stay in or actually go to the gym or do something that's actually going to pour more value into you. That's where this whole concept of just flipping the script, resisting that temptation, resisting the things that are temporary. The things that actually last in life are the hard things. And I'm not talking about the pain, but I'm talking about the things that you're willing to go through. Because nobody willingly wants to go run a marathon or wants to go to the gym and lift heavy weights. But it's the pressure that they put themselves through that builds them into diamonds. I know it's a cliche, but just think about it. What have you ever done in life that was easy? Did it come out to being a better result? Or was it the hard things that you started out, that you sucked at, you failed at multiple times and you were embarrassed, but you kept at it and then you ended up winning? You ended up feeling accomplished. You ended up feeling better because you put in all this hard work, the blood, the sweat, the tears. All of it was worth it because you have this creation, this invention. You have this version of yourself that you're proud of. Be proud of what you're doing in life. Be proud of chasing a version of yourself or going on this journey, your next chapter of your life, where you're starting to not only improve yourself, but you're igniting sparks in other people to start their journeys too. Because it's literally just like a chain reaction. All it needs to happen is for you to take that first step. And people start to notice that you're losing weight. People start to notice that you're healed, you're happier, you're smiling, you're laughing. People want to think that everything's going to be all right if they just give in to the easy stuff. But your mind will be the greatest obstacle for you if you don't address the root cause, and that's that you're self-sabotaging. And it's okay, we all do it. I've done it. But when you start prioritizing the right things instead of the wrong things, you're going to see a lot more progress in your life. And it's not going to be an overnight success. But if you're willing to fight the resistance every single day and die to your flesh and do what the Lord has called you to do, to be disciplined and to steward and to give thanks for what God has given you. A lot of people will take their life for granted and the things that they have and say, I don't have this, I don't have that. You're literally alive right now. You literally have a functioning body. And People are in a hospital bed. People have no limbs. People are paraplegics. People died early in life. So you don't have it that bad. We're in a first world country. We have so many opportunities here. A second or third world country is living in worse conditions. So be aware that your problems aren't that bad. Not that they aren't worthy of being problems, but know that you have the capability to get yourself out of that situation. But address the root cause, and that is that you're not taking action. If you start to take action, even if it's on a micro level, you're going to start building momentum, and that's going to snowball into this huge lifestyle change where you start to reap a lot of the benefits later on. You need to start getting resourceful. Earn the work. Earn the work. Because when it accumulates over time, then it's a stack of proof when you have to look back and be like, it was all worth it. That to get to this point, I had to go through all that turmoil. I had to go through all this doubt and struggle. And I'm not saying that it's gonna be fun, but people that go through it know that that person had so much more self-respect than themselves because they never gave up. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on that younger version of yourself. Be the role model that you wish you had growing up. Because in the next 5 years or 10 years, how do you want to look? Who do you want to be? Are you even alive? That's the question you want to ask. And if you're not on that path to living a fulfilled life, then you need to start changing course and getting right in whatever direction you're headed. If you found any value out of this video, drop a thumbs up, drop a comment, or subscribe to the page. God bless.